Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Oop, that is not muted. Okay, now it's muted. Um, Happy time zones. Welcome to another Saturday. Looks like it's just me and Charlie today. I don't know where anybody else is. Um,
Fully safe and sound after yesterday
yes,
and today.
yes. The storms that have been ripping through all over the place have
Yeah.
been hoy vey. Um, and for those of you not in the United States, um, there's like is it a hurricane that's come to land or something? I don't.
Um, Two very large and powerful fronts. A warm front shot up from the Gulf of Mexico, and a cold front came down from Canada, and they're having a war that's raging across the United States right now.
Yeah. So basically, we're having like mega storms.
Yeah. We
Um,
were in the 70s yesterday with like 90% humidity when the cold front arrived. And while luckily the storms, like, we got a lot of lightning and wind and hail, the really bad storms were just to the southeast of us. And that was a terrifying night watching the news as Sky Kaiju ate town after town after town.
hmm I know there's a news report of a I can't remember the name of the place. An Amazon warehouse that was crushed, and I think like 50 people died just because they work for Amazon.
And when I say towns, like, it was going through like Main Street of each town as it was going through. They were, it was scary last night.
hmm And the fact that the worst that's happened at my house is a limb from a tree falling and shattering on the driveway. I'll take that. That's just a simple cleanup and not life altering.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't stream yesterday is with the fronts, my joints were exploding with pain. But the last thing I want to do in the middle of a stream is be like, well, I have to go take shelter now. So bye. You know? Like,
So, yeah, the other people that are usually with us, there's a possibility they don't have electricity.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the power in town fluctuated a couple times, but our power here was fine throughout the whole thing. It was loud though. Like, I've not seen that much lightning in a really long time. I almost went out to the deck and yelled at the sky, the wild hunt's not till after the solstice. You're early! Put Hurl back in chains and wait a bit.
But we're here. We're ready to pretend like we're writing. Um,
I'm going to do
uh,
everything in my power not to play Boyfriend Dungeon during the stream.
yeah, I'm going to have to like. It's gonna be forced work. Let's face it. I really want to get into it, but um, I just my brain's in every direction right now. We're gonna say hi to people. Wait, what's the star button do?
Oh, it lets you mark people
Oh,
comments that you want to talk about later. So
oh, okay,
you can mark the ones that you want to talk about as you see them, and then you go over to your star queue, and they're just right there, so you can save them for later.
neat.
Yeah, I found that out by accident and just basically started giving everybody random stars that they didn't know that I was doing. Because, well, with my ADHD, you give me the ability to like grant stars. Like, do you think I'm not going to do this?
Let's see. Christina is here. Hello, Christina.
Hello,
Hello, Nikki. Hello,
hello,
Jennifer.
hello, hello,
And CB.
hello, hello, hello.
And we have a Spence as well. Um, let's
Hello.
see. CB says, my writing tutor gave us homework for the entire time that we're off from the group. We're to create a seed book. I'm probably not doing it right because I don't know how to do it properly. What's a seed book?
Yeah, I'm because my mind immediately went to you're supposed to collect seeds and write about them, like back when I was taking like nature the nature segment of what was that fourth grade, where we had to go around and collect leaves and seeds and write up about what we found in our local neighborhood to show that we understood that trees exist.
hmm
That's where my mind went, at least.
And I wasn't going to bring this up because I wasn't sure, but I did see Barrett say something about this too. Is that the novel Nana's roof fell in on her bedroom. She and her husband are safe, but they incurred a lot of damage. Yep. Okay. So you saw it. That was Barrett also. Um, yeah, I saw it during Sako's book launch stream. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Last night was no joke. I've seen them issue tornado watches, tornado warnings. They have this new tornado warning that I'm rather happy about, which is a the tornado warning goes from red to purple because spotters have actually seen it, like it's confirmed
hmm
on the ground. But I had never in my life heard them do a catastrophic tornado warning last night,
Wow.
and that's because it's confirmed it's on the ground and it's heading for a populated area.
Oh, damn.
And they issued, I think, 3 or 4 of those last night while I was watching the weather.
CB says a seed book is something to do with coming up with writing ideas or something. So a
Oh,
book to write seeds of ideas, I guess.
so Damon Knight would refer to that as a novum list. So that might be something to look up to help you understand what to do.
I would call it a plot bunny farm. Yeah, seeds of thought. Yeah, plot bunnies.
Tell
Uh,
Mr. Spence, no, trees are a lie.
trees do exist. They're the things that have sex all over the place and make it impossible to breathe without sneezing.
They're just tendrils of the great Cthulhu rising up from the earth to claim us with his spory nastiness.
Jennifer says, my sister lives in Kentucky. Thank God by the time the storm reached her town, it had greatly weakened. Everyone was safe.
Oh, that's good.
hmm But yeah, we've been under high wind advisories. I don't think we had any tornadoes up here, but yeah, I was actually I told people in my Discord, which by the way, I have a Discord if you want to join. Um, uh-oh, Pizza Demon has to say in the tree debate. What was I saying?
You were talking about your Discord.
Oh, yes, I need to get a link to my Discord to put it in. Invite people.
And while he's doing that, just a reminder tomorrow we're doing the hangout over in mine. It starts when people show up and it ends when people leave. Sometimes they go all day and well into the morning hours of the next day. You are not obligated to stay for all of it,
Paste.
but they are
That is
terribly
a
fun.
that is a link to my Discord for people who are not signed up for it yet. I know Spence is in there, and Christina's in there, and Charlie's in there.
We were hanging out in there just prior to this.
Yes, we were. And was it last night or the night before that you and Spence were
It
randomly
was
hanging
yesterday.
out and
Yeah, it was yesterday. I wasn't feeling good, and I got to watch her make pie and medicine chicken. And I made a mistake of telling the hubby about the medicine chicken, so we may be trying medicine chicken.
what is medicine chicken?
It was a chicken recipe with bacon and chicken and gochujang and onions and garlic powder and turmeric and paprika. And it just looked amazing. I'm sure I missed some ingredients there, but it looked so good.
Author J.G. Brown. I don't think I know who that is. Thanks for coming, Jennifer. Okay.
A
Should,
party.
should we do a sprint?
Yeah, because if nothing else, I can go back to my math homework that I assigned myself this week.
Math homework?
I started thinking that instead of making the games I'm wanting to make in somebody else's system, maybe make my own.
Oh, so you're inventing the wheel now.
Yeah, because I want it to be flexible enough to be able to do mass combat events if that needs to happen. And I do not know of a game where I like how they handle both small scale and large scale combat. And I'm wondering if there's a way I can mix and match and make something that might work. So I have some notions and I'm playing around with them.
CB still doesn't have a clue about Discord yet. I'm not. I think the only way to really know it is to just dive in.
Yeah.
But I understand a a platform being out there that you are not part of, and you're just reluctant and trepidatious about um, trying it out.
For all the oldies like me out there, it's like Yahoo groups, except for without all the spam and sex bots. But I'm sure that there are servers for that if that's your thing.
Oh, and I forgot I pulled this thing up that I saw, and part of me liked it, and but part of me was just like, nope, nope, absolutely not. My I'm my editor brain is kicking you right now. I have this problem with when people share memes, if the grammar's off in the meme. See, I don't care if the grammar's off when people are, tweeting or whatever, but if it's off in a meme, I will disregard that meme and I will not share it.
And
And
then you
this
found
one's
one that got you conflicted.
hmm?
Then you found one that got you conflicted.
No, I just wanted to share it because it's one of my grammatical pet peeves because people like to try and use Old English and don't understand it at all and just make up their own grammatical rules for it. What?
Yeah.
So I'm going to share this, and it's not the person who shared it. It is the person. I disregard who shared it. Just it's the person who made it that is irritating me. The nebulous person in the void. So they're doing. I mean, it's supposed to be yippee ki yay, motherfucker. There's one issue with that, and it's the use of thy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you just said your.
Yeah.
not you, your. It's one of those things, the thys and these and thous, people just don't understand which is which and what they're for, and just
Yeah.
use whatever the fuck they please, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, and that's not even Old English. That's early modern English.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into it once with somebody who said that they understood how Old English works, and then they pronounced a sign of ye old, and I'm just like, see, if you actually did understand that, you'd understand that that's a thistle, not a y, and it's the, because we got rid of the thistle because our thistle and our y looked very close together, and it was hard to tell them apart. But so if you actually were as educated as you were claiming to be.
So yeah, I wanted to share that because it's a pet peeve. And now I will share. Oh, hello, Eva. I will share the timer.
Hello, Eva.
Oh, all right. Oh yeah, and just so people know, in that particular one, it should have been thou
Yep.
because it's addressing the person. It's saying you, motherfucker. All right. So we will start the sprint in three, two, one, go. All right, that sprint is over. Um, I browsed Twitter and Facebook and got nothing productive done. How did everybody else do?
I read through a bunch of math geeks like myself arguing over like the basics over which is better, dice pools or cumulative systems. So like
Hmm.
which, which works better if you do the Vampire the Masquerade where you roll a whole bunch of dice and see how many count successes, or whether you add them all up to hit a target number or above. And everybody makes way really good points on all the above, and I don't like it.
There's also something that I have done, and I think I've seen other people do it in Vampire the Masquerade. Um, is sort of a mixture of both, where if something is requires like time and study, it requires a certain number of successes that is more than a role could possibly do, but it's something that's done over time and the successes accumulate. So it's just a matter of the number of roles needed is the amount of time needed.
Because I have enjoyed both styles of game, and I'm not sure because the one system that I have in mind, I don't know if I want to use it. I've been looking at. See, this is how you know you've fallen down into the weeds where you're loading up anydice.com and looking at distribution curves for
Hmm.
each each potential outcome. Which, by the way, if you're a gamer geek and you really want to see how dice work out, anydice.com is really fun. You type in what dice set you want to roll, and it will create statistical charts for you
Uh-huh.
to show you the just how that actually pans out over time. What how likely you are to roll any number
Hmm.
with those dice, and yeah, because the
um,
trick that I'm trying to go for is to keep everything as simple as possible. Because
right.
like I love Earthdawn's dice system so much because it makes so much sense once you're playing the game. You also have to have a whole bunch of dice and constantly be looking at a chart to figure out which dice you're rolling for any given situation if you're not writing them on your character sheet. So it's a little too complex for what I'm wanting, but I think it's the most elegant and beautiful solution, but it's not what I want to do.
Yeah, I know the problem I have with Vampire with the combat system is it's all contested roles and everything, which I don't know, it doesn't feel quite right. It feels a little too simplistic.
Yeah, that's kind of I don't know if it's a questing beast or a holy grail that I'm after. I don't know because I doubt I will find like the one ring to rule them all. So I'm not like that egotistical or anything, but
Hmm.
I I I, I get really frustrated when you have a game and because I would like this system to be able to work for either
Hello?
my fantasy setting or my um sci-fi setting. And if you get to the place where you're doing like large scale like fleet to fleet combat, I feel like I don't want players to have to learn an entirely new game system just to do those like mass scale events.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm wanting to concoct a system that will scale. And unfortunately the best version I've ever seen of that in the wild is the Earthon system, but it is it is insanely complex and uses all the dice.
um, I'm going to go through chat. Um, Spence watched D&D TikToks with her favorite himbo characters. Fun times. CB got 304 words. Jennifer dropped her Discord server link, which I should make sure. If it loads. Well, my other computer is trying to figure out how Discord works. Let's see. CB says thanks. I did pretty well, pretty darn good considering I was up till 3 a.m. watching WWE videos. What the hell is going on? Am I still logged in? Am I still connected to the internets? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm trying to load up the chat, and so I muted.
The internets.
Nope.
Can you hear me?
It didn't work.
Oh.
I can hear you. I'm trying to load up the chat. Stupid. There we go. There we go. I was trying to load up the chat so I could click on the link, and then I was like, I need to mute myself so that didn't happen. And then that happened. Yeah, I got logged out of Discord as well.
I don't think it's working properly. Or maybe that link is not. I don't think that's a link to take us to your page. Because it'll be sort of in the format of, where's the one that I put in? It'll look like this. We have an Amber. Hello, Amber.
Howdy, howdy.
Spence says, I'm unfairly invested in this one guy pretending to be 7 other guys, and they're all so adorable. Judge me all you want. No, I watch plenty of YouTubers who do stuff like that, and they're just as adorable. Oh, I forgot. I have this Facebook meme that I wanted to share. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
But I like it.
Can I just say I hate the bipolar weather in Texas?
So authors be like, whoops.
See, I don't really have that particular problem.
I do.
I have the problem of, oops, I was supposed to kill you. Sorry, but I'm going to take the 3 chapters away that I just gave you, and you're dead now.
My problem is that looks like my last chapter of the book. Like, everybody's dead except for 2 people.
I wanted to reply to a comment that I saw on it, because someone commented, they ran into my scythe, and I wanted to say, they ran into my scythe 10 times.
I love I wouldn't kill a dog. I'm not a monster. Like, the dog would be beside me, like, laughing and watching over everybody.
So for the link you're looking for, click on your Discord name, and then click invite people.
That one looks like one that should work.
Right. That looks right.
Wheelchair Road.
There we go. Joined.
Loading. Loading. Loading.
Oh my god, today was crazy but actually fun because it was fun watching the 2 guys at work like see who could sell these pour-ins, the new pour-in that we got. We only had like 18, and they're like, let's see who can sell them all by the end of the day. It was funny. We were left with 2. But Parts was mad at us because they kept having to break up our 2-part oil pour-in to make it happen. They're like, how are they going to run a contest but not give us more stuff? Not our fault. We want the TV. So we can say we don't want the TV, we want the $750. Which is just going to make our boss go, well, you can do it for a contest. Why can't you do it every other month? Because there's no incentive to. We don't get a kickback for it, so why do we care? It's $20. It's not going to break our money.
Mm-hmm. All right. So has everybody gone and joined Jennifer's Discord?
Oh, I did.
I'm bringing it up now to do that. Just glad my internet works today.
Oh, wow. Wind just picked up again. Yeah. So back to the warning of before. If I go poof, that's because the storms decided I was not worthy of electricity anymore.
Oh, like me Sunday. That was fun. Charlie's like, I was coming, but you ended. I'm like, I ended because I wanted to.
Well, Sunday wasn't power. That was the blended family deciding not to blend.
Yeah, but that was after internet gremlins.
Yeah.
Chunky family.
It went from gremlins to physical gremlins.
Sorry.
What?
Minerva just saw a bug on the outside window, got really, really excited trying to go after the bug on the other side of the glass, and just fell out of the windowsill onto the floor and looked up like nobody saw that, right? Like, oh no. I saw, I laughed, I told the internet about it.
All right, joined.
Stevie says, if you disappear, it's because Thanos snapped his fingers. Basically, yeah. Yeah, with everything that has been going on, and I said this at the beginning with the fact that it was just me and Charlie, I don't know if any of the other people who normally stream even have electricity or internet right now. Like, I haven't heard anything from anybody else, and I think that it just might be blackouts.
Rolling blackouts across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, CB, I feel like over the last couple years, like somewhere in like 2016, 2017, somewhere in there, an emo kid got their hands on the Infinity Gauntlet and snapped their fingers and was like, I want everyone to know my pain.
And now they do.
And now we do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're living in some weird emo nightmare future.
Yeah.
And it really bothers me. Like, I did not sign up to be in this emo kids fan fiction. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know who they are, but we need to find them and aim for the head. Like,
so you would think more bad stuff at schools happen like in the city, right?
oh no.
So my girl goes to a country school that is predominantly minority. It's mostly Hispanics. This kid got arrested yesterday, for having a brick, not baggies, a brick of Coke. A brick of Coke and a BB gun in his backpack.
I mean,
And he got caught because he was boasting about the coke.
And I
Dipshit.
mean, I
I
just
mean,
have
this kid's like got a few misdemeanors for dealing. He's set up. He's got two houses that are his when he turns 18 that like were from his parents and his grandparents, and like he's got college set for him because he was a foster kid for a few years. And motherfucker's gonna boast that he has coke.
I'm just hearing Reverend Horton Heat in the back of my head. Well, I was working on my farm about 1982. You know, if you've never heard Bales by Reverend Horton Heat, it's about a wonderful local farmer who is out tending his crops one day, and then it starts raining cocaine because somebody decides to check it out of a plane so that they don't get caught by the interdiction agents, and his adventures of going to the city to become wealthy and sell it off.
All I can think
Fun
of
stuff.
is like the school has like this anonymous tip page or whatever, and that's how he got caught because somebody anonymously tipped it off. I'm thinking, I hope the kid is not dumb enough to like boast that he fucking tipped them off because that kid did. Like, I remember going to school and there were knives. There was no coke. I went to an all black school. There was no coke involved. Drugs were done outside the school.
I went to an art school, so all drugs were done in the photo lab because giant hood vent, and it was like mainly pot because
Right.
an art school.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even then, when my all black school, like it was mostly weed. That was it. Dumbass.
Because when you're in the dark room, that hood vent covers a multitude of sins. Though
Oh
you
yeah,
walk
we have.
outside by where that vent was, like, and like you didn't need to buy anything. Just stand out by the vent, just because it was never like photo development chemical smells that were coming out of that thing. I often wondered if they ever actually developed pictures in the dark room.
Well, you
But
got to sit there and do something while you're sitting there waiting for them to develop. Just sit back, push them around in the water.
So yay, we have heard from Chloe. The
And
car
Kari's like,
decided
nope.
no. No, I just wasn't sure if you had like electricity or uh, internet or anything.
Looks like she had to work like me.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's too high. Fuck that. I'm like, time to sit up. Whoa, that's too far.
Let's see. When I was 16, there was this kid who went to the non-Catholic school who was in choir with, who I was in choir with because we had an inter-schools choir. He got expelled from school for something involving drugs.
Yeah. It's not this kid, not the time this first time this kid's gotten like in trouble with the law and he keeps being able to go to school because I remember when you on your second misdemeanor of anything, no matter what it was, you got sent to an alternative school. Apparently they don't do those anymore. At least not in Texas. She's like, he'll be out last week or next week. Okay.
was of cocaine falling like pouring rain. I don't know who dropped them, but I thank him just the same.
And they had so many drugs in their school but it was the 90s, so coke was passe.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because heroin.
Yeah. I'm just glad I never wanted to try any of that because I'd be dead. And I wouldn't know why.
Oh yeah, because you're allergic to every fucking thing.
Everything that's in everything that ain't good, I'm allergic to. So it's a good thing I never wanted to try any of it. Although I'm
well,
not sure for tabs. Tabs might be different. I don't know.
Um, I remember on our senior physics trip to Cedar Point, I know a group of kids brought mushrooms.
See, I never liked mushrooms. I didn't like taking medicine, so I never did tabs. I never really cared about coke or meth. Like I didn't really want to do them. I just want to stay away from my parents. The closest thing was church. You had to pass the church to get to the meth heads. Church had free trips out of state. I was all for it.
I should probably share screen. Do that. And not
It's time for
that.
me to go back to my math then.
Yeah, I figured we should probably sprint again.
Sorry, I get on here and derail everything.
Well, this is only sprint number 2, so
Yeah, we're very. I'm happy I have not loaded a game right now. I'm actually proud of myself and feel very productive just because I am not playing a game.
and I am my schedule has gotten a little wonky and I feel like I should be crawling into bed.
That's been me all week. So I've been having some health issues, so if I don't stream on my Twitch on Wednesdays, it's just because I'm literally not feeling up to sitting up for it.
Yeah, that
Mm.
was me Friday.
Yeah. Tuesday, I tried to go to the doctor to figure out what was wrong with me. Argued with him, didn't get seen, and because I'm trying to find a doctor that'll take my insurance, because my doctor quit taking my insurance and didn't bother to tell me when I made the appointment. And then Wednesday, I was knocked on my ass from the stress of it all. So it's fun times, people. Fun times.
Oh yes.
Nothing like waking up every morning, throwing up, sitting next to a window, not knowing whether you're going to be hot or cold because of the weather or because your body hates you.
We need to find the kid who did the snap. I'm just telling you. We need to find that emo kid.
Telling you. And it's funny because I describe it to the people at work, and all the guys are like, "Are you pregnant? Bitch, I'd have to have sex first. Leave me alone. Don't make me that disappointed in myself."
Have you had any dreams about white elephants lately? I'm just saying, the Buddha's mom didn't have the naughties. She just had a dream about a white elephant and then went, oh, wow, there's something in my belly. So, yeah.
My name ain't Rosemary, and I ain't carrying the devil's baby.
Oh, that's a shame.
And Lord knows I ain't good enough to be called Mary.
This, this world could use a proper Antichrist to clean things up a little bit.
Right.
It's been a while since we've had one. I think Frederick the Great was the last officially declared Antichrist that we had. Your story, look it up.
So I'm going to quote Nicholson as the Joker right now because what you're saying is what this world needs is an enema.
Yes. Yeah. There's way too many anal retentive Karens running around, and yes, like free colonic irrigations for all. Just yeah.
All right. On that note,
What? It's the proper cure for Karenicity. Like we're just gonna hook you up to this hose and clean you out, bitch. Just, yeah.
speaking
Don't
of
you need two
enema,
hoses? One for their mouth and one for their fucking ass.
so speaking
Yeah.
of enemas, it's time for a 20-minute brain dump.
Uh, math time.
Fine.
In 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Sprint number 2 is done, and guest number 4 is here.
I would like a new job, please.
I second that.
I hit like the 10-hour straight mark today and was like, I'm still part-time at this bitch. Like this isn't right anymore.
Yeah. Although, when it came to that stuff, when I was working part time, I was always pretty vocal about that.
So like because of what I do, I don't have, especially at this store, because of stupid shit, I don't have any flexibility because like I'm the only person who does my job, and they are very strict at this place about like I need to have my job 100% complete before I am allowed to leave.
Hmm.
And when I say overtime, they say no, you need to get it done in time, but it needs to be 100% done, but it needs to be done in time. um and I have yet to get a straight answer about whether they would rather me get overtime or not finish 100%. And like when I say 100%, it's not like I'm leaving customer orders or anything like that. It's like, you know, backup cakes for
Hmm.
the floor. Like, oh, you were supposed to leave 2 hours ago, and just now we sold a cake out of that case. So before you go, you're going to need to make another one of those. We don't care if it's going to take you another half hour, but also you were supposed to leave 2 hours ago, and why didn't you? But now you have to stay an extra half hour because of this cake that was just sold.
So it's almost like you're being punished because you didn't leave on time.
Yes, yes.
Like,
They're like, why didn't you leave on time? But also, since you were still here when this thing happened, you must now take care of this thing. They also do that when like our inventory, like our supply trucks come in. I'll be like scheduled to leave at 1 and the truck will come in at 2 and they'll be like, oh good, you're still here so you can put up all of your stuff. Which is like a half-hour job. Like I wasn't supposed to be here. There's somebody who's actually got the hours to do this.
that's when you just do what my porter says, and yeah, sure, I'll do it when I come back.
Oh,
Hmm.
but like if we do it in the morning, it just like screws everything else up even more. Like,
Well, no, I mean by then somebody else has already done it because
oh no. Because we are the only people who do our jobs, and we are the only person, like we have our own freezer as decorators. So
Mm.
like if a float of frozen gets shoved into the decorator freezer at 2 o'clock, when we come in at 5 o'clock the next morning, that float of frozen is still sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it! I was trying to help.
Yeah, no. And like honestly, like we used to do that at other stores and it was fine because there were two decorators. So like one person would start doing like the morning stuff while the other decorator put that float up, but it's just me there. So anyways, I don't want it to be just me there anymore because I don't want me to be there anymore. How's everyone else doing today though? I'm sorry I was just like I'm going to hijack this show and bitch. I mean, it's kind of what I do, though, right? Like, you invite me knowing that I'm going to hijack the show and bitch.
Maybe you want this that I found. Technically, it's
Is it
a
drugs? Is it heroin? Because, like, the 90s is coming back, man.
no. It is a badly translated sign,
What was
and I
it?
think
Sorry.
it's a badly translated sign, and I think you'll appreciate it.
Oh. Also, like, my roommate is in the bathroom right next to me and was like, what, was that a bathroom? Like, that's where we are. Nice. But like that's kind of like telling me not to be here, right? Because I feel like I am in fact the disc cunt.
I feel like that's a description of like what's going on in my trousers. Like, hello, welcome to my disc. Like, yeah,
So
I'm gonna
during
co-op
that
that as a
sprint,
non-binary term.
Oh, am I allowed to put that on the screen, or is it? Well, you already put it on the screen, so never mind.
During that sprint, CB fixed up her workspace a little bit and got 98 words. um, I will show what I got because I went up to use the bathroom and I saw something that I needed to take a picture of. And it is wholesomeness.
Aww.
It's a yin yang.
Aww.
That's Willow and Charlie. They were in a kitty pile.
Back when when both of our cats were still alive, when they did that, it would just end up being like a gray square. Like the two of them combined made just like a great big square. They were the same coloring. Not quite the same coloring, but close enough that in that scenario, yeah, it just was like a great big gray lump.
Yeah,
And you
mine would
can't-
look like a big like pile of snow and shit because they're both white and black.
Oh
They
yeah,
look like
yeah.
owls. They look like owls. And when they snuggle together, it's like, which one of these is which? Which one's fatter? Let me say.
Yeah, and
Hope
when
when
I
I'm done
first
fart.
went up there, they were sleeping. In this one, you can't really tell, but Willow's actually started bathing him.
I was like, hope when I'm don't fart.
I see. Like Willow is the colorful one, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Willow's
that
the
absolutely looks like bathing happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet pea. Also, why are they on an oven? What is that behind them?
That's the oven.
Okay.
My mom's computer desk is right next to it, and they really like to be up there next to her. So she just puts a towel down on top of it so they can have a little bed.
Okay.
And we just take the towel down when we want to cook something.
Oh,
So
clearly.
we once caught our cat's tail on fire with our electric oven. So
Oh no.
I try
No.
also. Okay, so first of all, my mother. Like this is a story involving my mother. This is back when I was in college. I come home for one of the breaks, and I'm like, "Mom, why is Casper's tail black?" Evidenced by his name, Casper is an all-white cat. Tip of his tail is black. And she's like, "Oh, he caught his tail on fire." And I'm like, "What?" Apparently she was cooking breakfast and he was sitting next to the oven and she forgot to turn the eye off. And well, she was like putting the food on the plate or whatever, or like washing dishes, or like possibly like walking away eating breakfast. And it was electric, so it's not like there was actual fire there. So the cat rested the tip of his tail on the active element, and of course, there's not a whole lot of nerve endings in tails. So by the time the cat's tail was already on fire, I don't know that he ever felt any pain. He just heard my mother screaming at him, and so he like bolted and was running around the house with his tail on fire. And like he was perfectly fine, except that like he lost the last like inch of tail fur. And it was black and he smelled bad for a few minutes.
Smell bad.
One cat
Yeah.
talking to the other. One cat talking to the other. Why do you still smell bad? Shut up. Leave me alone.
Right. But you know, that's what you have to expect when it's stories about, you know, my mother.
A lot nicer than stories of my mother.
So yeah, I left that picture in my general channel on my my Discord.
You have a Discord now. Woo!
Yes.
I have
I
one,
do.
but nobody ever comes to it. I've got so many things, and I don't do anything in any of them. And I'm saying I'm going to change that. That's my New Year's resolution. But let's face it, whose resolutions
I was
actually
going to
happen?
say, you don't come to your Discord.
I
need to
don't
like
have
come
one.
plan.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if I did, it would just be proof that I am like universally unloved. Like, I
It's
feel
like I
like
have a
it would
Patreon.
absolutely be disappointing in the long run.
It's like I have a Patreon, but I don't know how the hell to do videos or anything to post stuff early on them for people. So
Yeah, I love people bragging about how amazing their Patreon is, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not even bothering with that because, like, I know nobody's gonna do this.
Like, I would love to give people things early, but hell, when do I do anything early? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing from day to day. I mean,
This is why I just placate people with like my hobbies. Like, I don't know, I did weird music thing. Here you go. I know you're paying for stories, but have song. Cause done.
yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, it's like I used one and then one will be next Friday. So technically I've got 3 days of vacation left in which I didn't know that if you don't use it, you lose it. But yet I have to make a certain amount by the end of the month or I get a fine basically for not meeting goal. So it's like, do I take those 3 days off and get shit organized and set up, or do I make money? Because if I don't, then those 3 days are going to cost me $250. I really want to get things settled for people, but I'd rather keep my job and not get fined. You know. But dang, now my mom has a second job, so she's not home at night. So as long as I cook dinner, she won't bitch. So maybe I'll get some shit done.
Woo.
Maybe.
Kira says that is not happening.
Spence says, I keep finding Wattpad writers' Patreons and screaming about it.
Yes. She has, in fact, screamed to me about that.
Wattpad and
Also, my
writing.
parents, I told you all the drama about my parents and like selling their house before they had a house thing, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother just texted me saying that they just bought a 22-foot Gulfstream Friendship, which is great. They got a brand new one, and like I realize that things are not great right now with buying used ones, but like I feel like they just spent a ridiculous amount of money on this thing. And they went halvesies with my brother, so I can't even have it when they're done with it.
You know, if they were looking for a camper, they could have come to Texas. I'd sell them mine. It's just sitting there in storage. All they gotta do is put new flooring in it. As long as they don't bring it to Texas to go on vacation, they'll be fine.
Right, that's the thing is that like I know a few months ago I was looking at one to potentially live in because y'all know my situation here. And like yeah, I found tons of them that were like really good prices and used but in great shape. And like that's the thing with campers is that like I mean some people do live in them so they are like used heavily, but a lot of times people buy them and use them twice and then leave them on their property for 10 years and then are like, oh no, this is dumb and let me get rid of this. Like I'm moving or I need that parking space back. So,
but yeah. Honestly, people that don't use them that often is honestly worse because you don't know what kind of like mice infestation has happened depending on where they live.
Oh, that's
things
true.
Like that, the wiring. Yeah. Like that's part of the problem with ours is whoever had it before us didn't use it that often, and so they didn't know how to use it, so they overloaded the circuits. So like I don't have to as long as you don't go somewhere it's 100 fucking degrees like Arizona, Texas in the middle of the summer. It works fine. We lived in it in Washington 2.5 years, never had a single fucking problem. But I'm gonna fix that stuff because I don't even for the 13 we're gonna try to sell it for. It's gotten shit ton of upgrades, but I'm still gonna make it safe for people.
But I'm looking through, like I'm doing a virtual tour on one of these. This thing looks swanky as fuck, but like, like I want this.
The thing is if you like go camping in them, the way they're made are fine. But if you actually are looking to like live in one, get with me first. Let me look at it, and I'll tell you how practical.
Oh, yeah. So Amber, I think you knew this already, but like, 8 million people through this connection, so you might not realize that this was me. I vended at music festivals for a decade. So yeah. I am extremely well versed in these.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know you would campers, but I don't know how well.
Yeah. No, we actually used oh god, what are they called? The vans that are actually designed to be lived in, as opposed to these
Oh,
like the sprinters that people are using now.
yeah.
But like, you know, one of the vans with like the kitchenette and all of that in it, that's what
Oh,
we usually use. But like, we had a lot of friends who had, some people had Winnebagos. So when my parents were looking at these, I was like, absolutely do not get an RV, get a trailer, because like you're gonna have problems left and right.
yeah.
But yeah, no, and like I definitely had like some people with pop-ups, like, oh god, stay away from those. But yeah, this looks like they got something good. I just feel like they paid way too much money for it.
I'm just saying, Chris
Probably.
Farley ruined the word van for me for all time. Every time I hear the word van, no matter who says it, no matter what their accent is or pitch of voice, I just hear him going, down by the river.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
every time I hear the word van, like, people could be talking about their shoes. Like, did you see those vans? And like, down by the river. Like, he has ruined this word for me for all time and eternity. And I'm very grateful. I'm quite grateful.
I fully support that. Oh. Oh.
Favorite true fact about Metallica, the band that fought so hard for Content ID and all of the DMCA BS that we have to struggle with, have been pulled down 3 times for doing live streams on their own Twitch for playing their own music. The Content ID system hears it and goes, "Oh nope, you can't play Metallica. Nope."
It's like, we are Metallica.
Also, really quickly, Spence, have you read Jamin Eve before? She's new adult. She's not necessarily my jam, but she is very smutty werewolves a lot of the time. Sometimes reverse harem. But there is a name of a werewolf smut writer. Very popular. I like a lot of her stuff. Just like some of it gets like too new adulty, and then I'm like, this kind of just feels like YA with porn in it, and that's not really what I'm here for. Because I'm 41 years old. So, but yeah, so Jamin Eve is a potential for you.
I feel like that's going to be like the name of. I feel like every time I'm on one of these streams, you name one of my memoirs, like Charlie's Teen Years, YA with a little bit of pornography.
Now, see, the way I took this was that she needed, like, a name for herself so she can be a werewolf smut writer,
Oh,
like a
oh,
good
you're looking for a
pseudonym.
pen name. Chloe Hollis Balkin is an anagram of Alicia Hollenbeck. Right? That's
Oh,
the right word, anagram.
Mhm.
yeah. I didn't
And that
realize
was
that.
how I avoided having to be clever with my pen name, because like Sandy, I have watched Sandy struggle for like months to like come up with a pen name, and like that's dumb, and I don't want to waste that time.
Yeah, I had to. I had to do a pen name.
See, I have 2 pen names figured out on top of the one that I use now that I haven't used yet, because I have the one that I write with now, the one that I will inevitably write my smut under, and then there's the one for when I just go off the rails and like go for a very particular market where billionaire airplanes are doing terrible, unspeakable things to people's butts. Like, yeah, I know, I'm gonna do the Raptor book someday. I just, Chuck Tingle is my future. Like, I see it down the hallway. Like, I look down the hallway and I just see that
I mean, I think
looking
we
back at me.
all want to be Chuck Tingle.
I don't want to be. I just can see like the trajectory of my life, and I'm either going to give Dostoevsky a run for his money on who can be the most bleak and sad sack in all of the writing that they do, or I'm going to be Chuck Tingle. The path is still open right now, but I feel like the Chuck Tingle side is winning. But for the Chuck Tingle name, I actually used one of those porn name generators, and so it's the name of the street I grew up on with my first dog's last name. My first dog's name is the last name.
So an anagram of Haley Spence is Henley Space. And this is what I bring to the equation. Henley Space. Or Henley Scape, or Henley Paces, or Henley Capes. You just have to be comfortable going by Henley.
Henley Cakes does sound like somebody who writes porn. I'm just saying.
Henley Cakes.
And it works. She bakes.
I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying that
Just saying.
This
But-
anagram maker is terrible. There's got to be a better anagram maker. Oh my god.
My anagram maker makes no sense.
It was like a bunch of random, like, not actual words. Like, I don't think they would have been valid on Scrabble.
Yeah. Names for anagrams for my name is like Barm, Bear, Bema, Firm. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Craft is like Facty. What the fuck? Okay, never mind.
Cheney Peels. Oh, Ashley Pence. Don't do that. Like, that's an actual name. Wait, no, not that name though. I don't like Haley, that with your name, anagram makers come up with both Pence and Cheney. Like, why do you have devil's names in your name?
Mm-mm-mm. Plus, Pence is too close to Spence. Like, that's...
Well, yes.
Even for an anagram, that's just not too close.
I just came across Halsey Pence. Like, no. That's just cheating at that point. Laney or Lane Speech.
This reminds me of the song from the musical Cats, The Naming of Cats.
Oh, and then I get to gibberish. I guess I don't know how these things work, but it was like it gave a bunch of like actual valid things, not necessarily good, but actually valid, and then it turned into complete gibberish.
Peachy Senile is my favorite anagram I've seen so far.
Yeah. Oh, good. We're all on this. I did see Peachy Senile.
Ooh, piney leeches. Be piney leeches.
If not, get into AMSR with that one.
Oh yeah, that would be a good ASMR name.
Also, there were a lot of options if you want one of your names to be lychee, like the fruits.
Yeah. Yes, there are a lot of yes.
Oh, that's plenches.
Ooh,
I thought that said
Spiny
peaches.
Lee Ache. Spiny Lee Ache. I like that one.
I was trying to give valid names, but that's okay.
I'm
Cleep
sorry, I
Hyena.
had to mute myself because the hubby realized I was talking about Chuck Tingle books and was like, "Wait, he wrote what now?" Because he
Oh my God.
made himself sheltered, and I was like, "Oh yeah, all of
Oh,
the early Chuck Tingle books were like billionaire noun pounds me in the butt."
you've never told him about Chuck Tingle before?
I've
I
tried,
told
but he's-
everybody about Chuck Tingle.
I've avoided it carefully. And I just thought I forgot how to understand English for a minute. And then learned, oh, that was the airplane pounding him in the butt. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Cheesy Plain came up for Spence.
So you could
From
also
his-
be Cheese Planey.
in his wonderful takedown of
Cheesy cakes.
Robert Galbraith, Snape is a motorcycle named Snipe,
Oh,
who is like super sexy and gets down with everybody.
Nice.
He's a little sullen and standoffish, but he knows how to take people for a ride. I'm sorry, Amber.
Oh no, I've seen them. I've read them. We never talked about it like we were gonna, but still a discussion that needs to be
I was
had.
not in on that. We're going to talk about them like publicly. That was not.
I kind of want to talk.
No, me and Jace were gonna do a live stream about a book, and Meta was supposed to read it too, and bitch still hadn't read it.
So I put in Nicole C. Swanson, and the very first result that came up was nonsensical cow.
That's amazing. I would totally use that as a number
see,
one.
Chuck Tingle is an author who writes erotic novellas. They are erotic novellas, except that usually one of the M's is an inanimate object. And I don't mean like stuff going up the butt, but like it. Like
Anthropomorphized.
one of the M's could be COVID, or
Billionaire D6.
or an Oscar, but like come to life, or a dinosaur, or like some random pop culture reference that I'm just like blanking on what it could be right now, but like it could be the ghost of somebody. They are very short. I've only read about 5 pages of one, and I believe it was I got pounded in the butt by the assholes of the cast of Cats. Yes, pounded in the butt by my own butt is absolutely a single title. Also, his covers are amazing. So, like, if you just want to have a laugh, just look up Chuck Tingle and just see his covers, and his covers alone are hilarious.
Cherry, what is it? Trans Wizard Harriet Porber and the Bad Boy. Yeah, it's like all of the Harriet Porber books, because they are as much just nonsensical erotica as they are shut up Robert Galbraith books. And
am I right that it is all MM, or
I do not know of any that are not.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like, I got that impression. Just, you know, from the titles, but I was like, I've never actually fact checked this.
The only ones I've read were ones like the pounded in the butt by my own butt. I'm like, how the hell would you even come up with that as a thing? Like, I honestly got curious enough to read it.
I mean, like,
wanted to.
Like, remember that conversation we had earlier about drugs?
No, like, my mind, I'm too scientific, so like my thing was like, how the fuck do you disengage your own butt to fuck by your own, like,
that's the glory. That's
like, I gotta know how this stupidness makes sense in his head, like, and then I'll start reading it and be like, okay, that's how. Okay, answer done.
Amber,
don't care to read the rest of
Amber,
it.
do you understand that, like, most of my alien smut starts out with a concept like, what if his dick was a squid? Like, just a whole ass squid right there. How would that work? What could we do with that? But, like, how can we jazz it up? Because, like, there are obvious things that we could do with a squid just dangling there between the legs. But, like, can we get creative? Like,
I know. Like,
can their mating dance be like making fun knots with their squid tentacles to, like, yeah.
that like takes crazy and makes it logical. Like, there are some titles he has that I'm just like, how do you make this logical enough to make it happen?
Well, that's why you read it.
And that's what I do. I read it, and I'm like, okay, that's how he did it. I don't need to finish the book. I got my answer. I'm good. Like,
yeah, perfect.
So I really don't ever finish his books. It's just like I get curious enough at a title. I'm like, I gotta figure this one out.
Yeah, and I feel like if you are able to, like, take something from, like, the current news, he does that a lot. Like, what's
he does that a
lot?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you really want to know how this works, YouTube recommended a video to me last night called "The Magic of Marbles," and I do not know if this is an actual BBC clip from a BBC show or if they're just pretending. It's really hard to tell sometimes, but they have way too much fun with the names of all of the things that are used to do glass blowing. And at a certain point, I was just like, anybody who walks by the room right now is going to think I'm watching the weirdest instructional porn in the world.
But it's glass
But it's
blowing.
glass blowing. Like, it's how to
Just
make a marble.
putting it out there.
Ugh.
Every year we go to Ren Fair, and every year at least twice I make everybody go to the glass blowing with me. Like, it is the exact same show, but like, no, I want to do the noon show and also the 3:00 show. Also, if we can do Birds of Prey twice, that's great, because usually we can't see the condor and the peregrine falcon at the same time, and I want to see both.
Yeah.
And that's literally what the Ren Fair is for me. Walking back and forth between the blower and the Birds of Prey show, and then stopping by the tea hut.
His assistant shoves the shaft into the glory hole, right into the gob, to make sure to get a large sticky one for them to work on. And I'm
Yes.
just like, you knew what you were doing. Like, there's no way you did not know what you. I mean, all of those words are right. Like, you did not misuse any of the technical terms in glass blowing.
The funny
So
thing
at
is, okay, now that it's the holidays, Netflix has like this glass blowing challenge thing.
I was
Oh,
just going to
yeah.
say that it's amazing.
Yeah,
It is.
it's amazing, but like you can tell that they try not to name these things.
They say
Because
glory
of the
hole
way they-
occasionally.
They
They
do
do.
say that, but like he's talking about some of the tools, and he's like, "I use this," and you know he wants to say the name, but then like, they try to keep it PG, and it's just funny because like if you do know the names, you're like, you couldn't say that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's beautiful. It's really, really nifty to watch. But whoever wrote that script needs to get slapped, because they're acting like this is the cheekiness. Because it's filmed in such a way that it's like, here we're going to explain glass blowing to children with all the double entendre that will make the parents just cringe in the background.
So SpongeBob, but for glass blowing.
Yes. So much. Just
So yesterday, one of my friends sent me a TikTok that was somebody analyzing a scene from The Amazing World of Gumball. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
The Magical World of Gumball? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they don't actually like go into details on the show, but basically it is an homage to that episode of South Park where everybody is eating by shoving food up their butt. And like a character kind of does that, but they're a balloon, I think. So like it seems to make sense that they're sucking the food up they're sucking the eggplant up the hole.
wait, it was an actual eggplant?
I believe it was
There's
an
no
actual
subtlety there.
eggplant. So, like, it might have actually been a sex joke that they were going for, but also it was literally the shoving the food up the butt in order to eat it.
Rectangle would be appalled. Where's the subtlety? Where's the nuance?
Yeah. But so like it happens, and then even in the episode, the other character is like, "Wait, but if you're talking out of your mouth, where did the eggplant go? Where did the eggplant go?" And then the episode just keeps going, I guess. But like, what? Haley, I will send it to you. I will forward it to you on Facebook.
Where did the eggplant go? Where?
My sister loved The Amazing World of Gumball, and I don't think I've ever seen that, but I don't watch any new episodes, so.
I've never seen it before. I've seen like probably a grand total of like 5 minutes via memes. Nikki, this is what I bring to the table is weird conversations.
This is what happens when we're all just kind of burnt out at the end of the year. Like, if we keep talking, the timer will run out and we won't have to do another sprint.
It actually has run out, and I'm about to ask for outros because I am getting super, super tired. Um, so with that, does anybody want to do an outro?
Hi, my name's
No.
Charlie. I do way too much. Check out my album. I'm Project Shadow. The album's called Pride. It's very good. I really, really like it. The fact that people that are not me are listening to it shocks me to my core. I actually got a Spotify rewind from them of look at all the different countries people are listening to your album in, and I went, wait, what? It's more than just me. Had a little like,
You know it's at least me because it's every Tuesday or Wednesday on my Twitch.
oh no, it's more than just the like couple people that I knew had said something about that they were using it for streaming, and I don't know who's in China, but I'm glad I finally made my way back through the Great Firewall. Hi. I don't know how much longer you'll be able to hear my stuff, but yeah. Um, I also stream like way too much. When I stream on YouTube, I will put up the video the thing ahead of time. I may be doing that on Tuesday. I usually stream on Tuesdays on YouTube and on Thursdays, and over on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays. And yeah, I'm currently apparently designing a new game system because I can't do anything easy. So, yay. Check out my stuff. Oh, and my latest book, A Noble Sacrifice, is out on Amazon. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it as part of that. So, definitely check it out.
Cool, cool. Anybody else?
I am the never know what the fuck I'm doing Ambercraft. I'm currently editing book 3 and posting new episodes up, so make sure you go and check Unknown Happiness on Amazon. I've got it on all my descriptions on my channel, so go and check that out. I'm going to try to think of things to make videos for the next year, but I do have a list of people to interview for the Afterthought podcast, so that season 2 will start back in January. I'm trying to get overlays and stuff on Twitch, but apparently the internet's not good enough to work Wi-Fi side on my laptop, even though it works fine on here. But this doesn't have a good enough graphics card, so who the fuck knows when it'll look cool on Twitch. But I do stream on Twitch when I feel good. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8 or 9 Eastern, whichever time that happens. And then Friday the 17th, I will be streaming either on Twitch or YouTube. I will let you know which. Kira has a game during the afternoon, so I took the day off, and I'm going to actually make myself sit down in this chair and get some fucking work done. So if you'd like to join me on that, let me know. I think that's all I've got for now. I'll see you. I want to see you.
Cool, cool.
I need a new job.
If you can help Chloe with that, let her know.
That's it. That's all I got right now.
All right, and you can catch me on Tuesdays playing something on Twitch. This past week, both on Tuesday and Thursday, I played Graveyard Keeper, and I'm semi-addicted to that game. It's really fun. What?
The hubby is making Graveyard Keeper skull talking sounds.
Okay, I appreciate that. I also do a Vampire the Masquerade tabletop RPG on this channel on Thursdays, when the players can get together to do it. So it doesn't happen as often as it could, but it's often enough. So hopefully I can see y'all in either one of those other places. And with that, I am going to get my ass to bed because I am having trouble keeping my eyes open. All right, catch you later.